It's now time for SAU Magazine, featuring news and events occurring on the SAU campus.
Welcome to SAU Magazine. I'm Gary Brown.
And I'm Lanaux Williams. Later in this program, Gary will be talking with Mr. Roger Dunlap, the Assistant Dean of Students at SAU. Mr. Dunlap is also the golf coach, cheerleading sponsor, and the head of several student organizations on campus.
Now we'll be talking with Mr. Jake Whitehead, Assistant Professor of Speech and Theater and Technical Director for the Theater Productions. We'll find out what changes he's seen at SAU in the past 23 years, and we'll get a little insight on why he is well known for a sense of humor.
We'll be back after this break with Gary and Mr. Dunlap.
Well, a couple of years ago, I became aware of the fact that this job has opened up, and I'd been working in the intramural department and teaching in physical education. I'd had experience in residence life as a student, and so I thought maybe it may be an area that I might be interested in. I'd worked with Dr. Hafner previously, and he is my boss. And so I decided I would pursue it and pursue the position. I actually thought I'd have more time to be at home with my family when I took this job, and it turns out that I was wrong, but that's how it happened.
What does your job consist of?
Many different areas. Basically, my title is Assistant Dean of Students for Campus Activities, which basically means directing activities on campus. My primary responsibility is probably with the Campus Activities Board, where we administer a budget of around $50,000 for entertainment. And I serve as an advisor to that group, but also I serve to help them to book entertainment and then to be able to come in, hopefully bring people in and make entertainment on this campus successful. Of course, also I deal with cheerleaders, and I'm an advisor to the cheerleading organization. I coach the golf team, and that's kind of like a hobby. That's more of it's not really in my job description. It's just one of those things that I've been asked to do and that I enjoy doing. I advise the Student Government Association, which is also very important, and the Intergreek Council. And I'm in charge of facilities, basically reservations and scheduling and things like that.
Can you tell us, what does a cheerleading sponsor do?
Well, basically, I'm an advisor, which basically I'm not a teacher. I don't know that much about cheerleading, although I'm learning all the time. Basically, I send out notices, try to make people aware of the fact that we are having tryouts, make people aware of what kind of stipend is offered to cheerleaders, and make them aware of the opportunities. And then I do travel. I travel in the summer. We go to camp for a week, and I spend a week with them, and that's a good time with the squad when I get to know those people really well, and we build some relationships there. And then I travel with them during football season. We travel to all away games, and then during basketball we travel, but very little. I really don't teach them that much. I'm just kind of there to as kind of an information source, and just to kind of help guide them in whatever kind of questions that they have. I try to answer those questions, but I'm really not a coach. I'm more just kind of a faculty advisor.
You're also in charge of the SAU calendar. Where do you get your information for that?
Basically, in the springtime, we send out notices to all faculty and staff, and also student groups, and we tell them that we're developing the calendar, and we ask them to send us basically anything they have scheduled on any specific dates in the upcoming academic year, and we kind of disseminate that information and try to get that into some calendar form. It's a pretty big project, because you're talking about now we have almost 60 student organizations, and then when you get faculty and staff, people like theater, and they have their productions on certain days, and we have cheerleader tryouts going on, and there's so many different things that are happening. But basically, we just kind of get all that together. It's about a 2-month process from the time that we start until we actually finish and send it to the printer.
What does CAB stand for, and what does it mean?
CAB is the Campus Activities Board here on SAU, and it's the board that's responsible for all programming, student programming. Built into each student's tuition is an activity fee. They used to pay that fee on top of their tuition, but things have kind of been restructured. So students pay for an activity fee. All CAB events, since I've been here, have been free to the students. And we've just developed, the Campus Activities Board has just developed a survey and that we've been distributing to students and trying to get some ideas about what kind of programming, how we can better serve their programming needs, you know, what they want to hear and when they want to hear it and what they want to see or whatever. Of course, a lot of people would like us to bring in some big name people like Garth Brooks and things like that, but that's not going to happen here.
Okay. Thank you, Roger. Next, Lanaux has Dr. Jake Whitehead.
This is Mike Lancaster. The Southern Arkansas University Theater Department is proud of the plays they present. This year they have performed One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest and The Best Little Whorehouse in Texas. Jake Whitehead was instrumental in the production of these two plays, as well as almost every other theatrical production at SAU in the last 23 years. He is experienced in every aspect of these plays. He has been an actor, director, and a technical director, but his most valuable contribution may be the designing and building of the sets. It has been said that he can make anything out of styrofoam. He was in the 1971 performance of South Pacific and celebrated its 20-year anniversary by performing in the 1991 version. Mr. Whitehead currently teaches speech, costume and makeup, and stagecraft. He graduated from Southern State College, which is now SAU, in 1958. He has been teaching since 1969.
Thank you for being with us today, Mr. Whitehead. You are known for your excellent stagecraft abilities. You've built the set for every play done on this campus since you've been here. How much time and energy goes into building a set?
There's just no way to tell. It's a tremendous amount. Very few people are aware of how much time goes into it. That's the kind of the frustrating part of it, that when the curtain opens, there it is. You can't. Same thing with acting and rehearsal. You don't know. The general public just can't imagine the 4 or 5 weeks that are put into rehearsal. And then some scenery, we can build it in a week. And if we have some pieces that are already constructed, others, it takes a month. For example, on this last show, we had 2 plays going at once, and we worked on our little Texas play for 2 weeks before the other one finished, and then we could put it up. So it's hard to say, but there is a lot of time spent in the scene shop.
How do you feel when you have to dismantle all this hard work?
Oh, it tears me up. It really does. The only time I felt more depressed was this morning when I found out that Tammy Faye was going to divorce Jim.
Why does Dr. Skelton refer to you as a master craftsman of styrofoam?
Styrofoam, it's kind of a running joke here. Every play we do has to have some styrofoam on it. I'm not a very good artist. I can't paint scenery to look like something it isn't. What I do is I take styrofoam and I build it. If we need molding, if we need rocks, just whatever, I go to piece builders. What we used to do was go to Dow Chemical where they made the styrofoam. We got all we wanted for free. But since they've moved out and Ethel's taken over, we can't do that anymore, so we have to buy it. But I make things. I sculpt and carve and sand and paint and do things like that.
Have you had any problems with a set during a play?
Oh, yeah, this happens a lot. We've had scenery fall down in the middle of a production. We've had doors that wouldn't open. I built a cloth slide once for a children's show for Alice in Wonderland, and she was supposed to jump off this platform onto this slide and fall down the rabbit hole. Well, the cable on the slide broke, and she almost broke her rear end, and she got up with tears in her eyes, and we really thought she'd broken her back or something, but you never know. Things do happen frequently.
Okay, your students have always said that your theater and speech classes are a blast because you're a constant source of entertainment. Have you ever dropped that image and really gotten mad?
Oh, yeah, I do it occasionally. I used to direct some. I don't direct much anymore. Before Skelton started directing a lot, I would do 1 or 2 shows a year. And it's a thing you use. If the people get a little lackadaisical and they don't learn their lines, well, then you blow up. This has to happen about a week before the production. And I get frustrated at times when I've got a time factor involved and I have to have scenery done at a certain time and nobody help me. Then I don't think I really get angry. I just get frustrated and then I start throwing hammers and 2x4s and things. And I'm not always ho, ho, ho.
What do you do with your spare time?
Oh, I like to golf. I'm no good at it, but I like it. I used to fish a lot, but the golf has kind of taken precedent over that. And I do a lot of wood carving. I invented the pig stick. In case you don't know what that is, that's a walking stick that looks like a pig's tail. And now I'm into dinosaurs. I've been crossbreeding dinosaurs. They're about a foot long, and they're shaped like porcosauruses and platypus rexes and beaversaurs. They're outstanding. You must have one of these.
Once again, thanks for being with us today with Mr. Whitehead, and join us again next week for SAU Magazine.
This presentation has been brought to you by the Advanced Radio Production class at Southern Arkansas University in Magnolia.